morning. Welcome to yoga. My name's Emily and I am filming from my master bedroom today. This will be a vinyasa practice focused on balance, which I think that we all could improve our balance, but also not just our physical balance in our bodies, but our balance in our lives. All right, let's start out, and sorry, let me pull this back a little bit. I don't really have a place in my house where I can really get a good vantage point of everything, but we'll do our best. Let me scooch over a bit here. All right, so let's just start out connecting with the body and the breath. So inhale and exhale. Sitting up nice and tall, continue your breaths. Close your eyes and see if you can connect with your physical being. And just notice if you feel any different after taking a few breaths. I'm starting to feel calmer and more grounded. All right, inhale the arms up, and then bring the shoulders down, and we're just going to hold the arms up. Breathing. Palms are facing one another so that the shoulders can come down. And now let's just twist over to the right, bringing the hands down. Continue to keep your eyes closed, connecting with the body and the breath. Keep your chest nice and open here. Let's come back to center and let's bring those arms up again. Shoulders down and just hold here. And now twisting over to the left side. Nice open chest here. And now back to center. Let's just engage the small muscles of the arms a little bit. Palms are up, and we're just going to pulse the arms here. And if the arms are starting to feel heavy, you can just shake them out and see if you can come back to it. All right, let's bring the palms down, and we're going to continue to just kind of pulse here. And now let's do little circles here. Circling forward. Continuing to breathe nice and deep as we work on toning those arms. And my arms are starting to feel fatigued. If you've gotten past that point, if you notice that you're hunching at all, shake your arms out and then see if you can continue. All right, I'm going to go the other direction. And after this, we'll take a nice stretch. All right, let's release. I'm going to bring my arms behind me and just stretch out here. Open up big and cross the left arm over the right. And now opposite side. And reach up behind you with your left arm, and then you're going to reach up with the right. I'm mirroring you. And it's okay if your hands don't quite touch. We're just trying to get a stretch here. And let's release, and then we're going to get the other side. And let's just shake out through the arms and shoulders here a little bit. All right, let's come into our cat and cow stretches. You can do this seated as you are now, or you can come onto all fours. I'm going to come onto all fours. I'm going to bring this camera over here. Coming onto all fours. Drop your belly, tilt your tailbone up, and look up as you inhale. Exhale, round. Look at the belly button. This always feels really nice. stretch out through the shoulders now. So walk your hands past the left side of your mat, and keeping those hips up, you're going to stretch out long. Sorry, let me lower you down a little bit so you can see me a bit better. Okay. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see me a bit better. So I'm going to stretch out here. Just resting your forehead on the mat, keeping those hips up. All right, let's rock forward, and we're going to walk over to the other side. So walking past the side of your mat, keeping your hips up, just stretch out long. All right, let's come back to center, and we're going to thread the needle now. So let's stretch over to this left side first. So bring your right arm out, fingertips towards the side, and you're going to thread that right arm underneath. Taking this left arm up and around towards the small of your back. Got a little itch there. All right, let's release on this side, and we're going to do the same stretch on the opposite side. So now left arm out, and it's going to thread underneath the right shoulder. And you can take this top arm up and around. And now let's come onto all fours. And I'm going to lift you up a little bit more for the rest of the practice so that you can see a little bit more of my body here. Okay. Now let's put you over here. Maybe this will be better. All right. Does this kind of work? Hopefully. Okay. Let's come into a forward fold. So coming up on your knees, you're going to step forward to the top of the mat and then come all the way forward for a forward fold. See if you can just release here. You can cross your arms into ragdoll if that feels good. Oops. Lost my hair bow here. All right, let's come into a standing pose. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let me lift you up a bit more. Okay. Can you see if you can see me now? I think you'll be able to see my whole body pretty well now. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. And now let's open the arms to cactus arms, and we're just gonna stretch open a bit deeper here. And release. I'm just gonna pendulum the arms a little bit from side to side. Okay. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up. You can have your hands on your shins or towards the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's come back to that stretch. So we're going to lift the arms up, bring them into cactus arms, and just stretch open a little deeper here. So this feels really good because I tend to round over my screens, over my computer and my phone. And release. Let's just pendulum a little bit here, swinging the arms. And circle sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up, and let's come into downward facing dog. So plant the hands, step back, and you're gonna lift your hips up. You can bend your knees here if you need to. And we're gonna walk out this downward facing dog. And I'm gonna bring you down a little bit. I'm sorry, the quality of this recording isn't the best. You'll have to forgive me. I'm doing the best I can with amateur photography here. Okay, walk it out. And now let's do a little bit of a balance before we go on. So let's take the left arm up. And you're just gonna lift it out. Okay, let's release, and now let's do the right arm out. Just lifting it up a little bit. And release. Let's take the right leg and just lift it up a little bit, flexing that foot, pulling the belly in. And release. And now let's bring the other foot up. Flexing that foot, pulling the belly in. Just working on balance here. All right, now for fun, let's see if we can do the left arm and the right foot. And I am struggling to balance here. Oops. All right, release. I'm just gonna walk it out before I try the other side. All right, now let's take that right arm and see if we can bring the left leg up here. Whew. This is really challenging for me. And release. Let's continue with our sun salutations. Bend your knees, inhale, and on your exhale, walk all the way up. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I think I'll lift you up a bit here. Okay. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's do our little stretch here. So inhale, cactus arms, and we're just gonna stretch open here. This feels really good to me. Hopefully to you too. And now let's do a little bit of a counter stretch, reaching the arms behind you. We're just gonna open up through that chest. Okay, release the arms. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up, and let's come into our chaturanga here. Okay. So you're gonna look up and now plant your hands, step back, and you're gonna rock forward to your tippy toes here. Okay, we're gonna stay here in our plank pose and see if you can raise one leg up maybe. Maybe you need to drop the opposite knee to make this happen. Just practicing our balance here. Deep breaths. All right, let's release this foot, and now we're gonna lift the other foot up. And lower this foot back. Let's drop both knees and come to child's pose. Take a little break. And now let's come back into plank, and we're gonna try doing a one-arm plank. So stretch that left arm forward. You can drop your knees here if you need to. This is really challenging. Okay, now I'm gonna do the other arm. And release. Let's come back up to downward facing dog, pressing those hips back. Walk it out here. Let's come up to the top of our mats. Bend your knees, inhale, look forward, and on your exhale, walk your way up. Sorry, you can't see my head here. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's stretch up and open, coming to those cactus arms, taking that nice stretch with the body. And let's do some standing balances here. I'm gonna lift you up a bit again. Okay. I'll come back and then you can see me. So let's start out with just bringing the weight into the right leg, and we're gonna lift that left leg up. And you might just stay here if this is really challenging for you, and just practice balancing on one leg. Okay, I'm gonna bring this into a tree pose. So you can bring the foot down to the calf or all the way up to the inner thigh here. And then when you're ready, you can grow that tree. Okay, let's take this leg and lift it up. And I'm going to step it back and bring this other leg forwards, still keeping my arms up. I'm going to come into a warrior one with my hands clasped. All right, let's come all the way down. Step back, rock forward to plank, and we're going to come into chaturanga, so lowering down. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift up, low cobra. And let's come up and back to downward facing dog. And let's try the other side. Bend your knees, inhale, step forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's stretch out first, so opening up. Getting deep into that upper thoracic. And now release. We're going to bring the hands to heart center, and we're going to try to balance on the other side. So bringing the weight into the left leg and lifting the right leg up. And you can just stay here and practice balancing on one leg. Maybe even keeping that toe down to help you balance. You can also bring the foot to the calf or all the way to the inner thigh to create tree pose. When you feel somewhat steady, you can reach up, lost it. Reach up to extend your branches. Balance is always something that I struggle with, which is why I practice it often. All right, let's release, and we're going to bend this leg without stepping it down. We're going to step all the way back and make our way into warrior one, stepping the feet wide. Bring the back foot down to an angle. The front toes are pointed towards the front of the mat. All right, and let's come down, step back, and let's practice our balancing planks again. So coming into downward facing dog, let's rock forward. And I'm going to start out by lifting my left foot. You can drop the opposite knee if you need to. All right, let's lower that foot down, and now we're going to lift the other foot up. All right, you can take a break if you need to here. I'm going to stay in my plank, and now lift the left arm up. And now I'm going to switch to the right arm. All right, let's come to downward facing dog. Bring those hips up and back. Let's walk it out. Give ourselves a little breather here, a little break. And then we're going to practice our standing balance again. So bend your knees, inhale, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that big, bright opening here. So opening the arms up, stretching through the upper back. And bring the hands to heart center. And we're going to come back into our tree pose. Bringing the weight. Let's see, which one did I do first? We'll do this one. I don't know which one it is. I'm going to lift up the left leg. Okay. And make my way into tree pose. Now I'm going to release and step back with this leg, making my way into warrior one with my hands clasped. Sweep down, step back. Let's rock all the way forward here and lower. Loop the shoulders back, inhale, look up, low cobra. And make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Let's get the other side now. Bend your knees, inhale, walk all the way up. Inhale, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's open up here. Opening up those shoulders. And now we're going to try balancing on the other side. So bringing my weight into the left leg. I'm going to lift the right leg up, coming into, this side's always harder, and my foot doesn't want to stay put here. Okay. Wow, my foot just wants to slide, so I'm going to bring it to the calf instead. Do a modified tree pose. Now lifting this knee up, I'm going to step back. And sweep down, step back, rock forward, lower, untuck the toes and lift. And make your way up to downward facing dog. Let's practice our plank balance again. So inhale, rock forward, and starting with the right foot out. Lower that foot and now bring the left foot up. Lower that foot, and now I'm going to bring the left arm up. And release, and I'm going to bring that right arm up. And release, bend the knees, inhale, look forward, and walk your feet up to the middle or the top of your mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, let's open up again through the chest. Trying to bring those elbows together, squeezing those shoulder blades open. And let's let's just pendulum the arms a little bit. And now we're going to do a different kind of balance. I'm going to bring you up a little higher here. Okay. We are going to try balancing in dancer. Okay. So let's bring the weight first into the right leg, and you're going to reach around for the back of that left foot, grabbing for the inside of the foot here, and the other arm comes up. And it's fine to just stay here and just balance like this. If you want to take this a little bit further, you're going to extend the foot into the hand to create the full pose. Let's release on this side, and we'll try the other side. Now the right arm comes up, you're going to reach around for the inside of the right foot, and you can stay here just with your arm up holding on to that right foot, or you can press the right foot into the right hand to create your dancer. Release here. Let's open up again. Stretching through the chest. And give ourselves a hug, chin to chest. Let's try our tree pose one more time. So hands to heart center. I'm going to bring the weight into the right leg first. And bring the left foot up into my inner thigh. I'm cheating by using a chair here. Hands to heart center. And extend. Now let's release this leg, and we're going to step all the way back, making our way into warrior one. Back foot comes down at an angle. Right toes are pointed towards the front of the mat. Shoulders are down here. Okay, and you probably won't see me come down, but I'm going to come all the way down, step back, rock forward to plank, and let's try our balance again before we do the other side. So lifting that left foot up. Lower it, and now the right foot comes up. And release, left hand comes up. And now right hand. And now release, make your way back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, inhale, look forward, and on your exhale, come all the way up to the top of your mat. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch open here with cactus arms. And hands to heart center. Now we're going to try balancing on the left leg, which for me is always more of a challenge. So I'm going to bring my foot up to the calf, since these pants tend to be kind of slippery. And I'm going to extend my arms up. Release. I'm going to lift this left leg up and step all the way back, transitioning to warrior one. And now sweep down. We're going to come into our plank, and this will be our last time holding that plank. So come into the plank, and we're going to bring the left leg up first. Lower, and now the right side. And you're welcome to just come into child's pose if this is too much for you today. And release. Left arm out. And let's try the right arm now. All right, let's come into child's pose. I'm going to lower you down. So that you can see me a little bit better down on my mat. Okay. So coming into child's pose here. Let's take a balance in bow pose. So coming onto your mat, onto your belly. Reach around with your hands, and if you want to do a variation on this, you can just come into kind of like a half locust lift like this. But if you want to take the full pose, you're going to bend your feet, bend your knees, and reach around for the outsides of your feet. And this is similar to dancer. You're going to press your feet into your hands to create bow pose. Don't do this if you feel pain. You should not feel pain in this pose. How you doing? All right, release, cross your arms in front of you. And I'm just gonna windshield wiper those legs back and forth. Let me look at the time here. Okay. Let's do one more back bend before we come into our final resting pose. So flip around onto your back. Your arms are going to be down at your sides. Your feet, you're going to walk them all the way up to your rear. We're going to gently lift those hips up. Coming into bridge pose. And slowly lower down. I'm going to walk my feet out a little bit, and I'm just going to windshield wiper here with those knees. All right, now instead of coming into Shavasana, I'm going to come into like a bound ankle pose. You're welcome to come into Shavasana and walk those legs out. I'm just going to open my knees like a book, pressing the soles of my feet together. Bring my left hand to my belly and my right hand to my heart. And I'm just going to connect with the breath here. And some people have a misconception about yoga that yogis are always calm and always feel happy. That's not the case. Human beings, whether they're yogis or not, always feel a range of emotions. And the important thing in yoga is not to always make yourself feel calm. It's to recognize where you're at. And I know for the past few days, I've been feeling very kind of stressed and uncertain. And my temptation is to try to tell myself I don't feel that way, or to try to remember everything that's good in my life. And not that those are bad things, but it's also important sometimes just to recognize that you feel uncertain or afraid. And that's okay. That's normal and natural. When I recognize that, then I'm more able to make peace with it. All right, if you are in Supta Baddha Konasana, the bound ankle pose, close your knees and you're just going to roll over to one side. If you are in traditional corpse pose, just walk your feet up and roll over to one side. Just taking a little break here on your side. All right, make your way into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your hands to heart center and your thumbs to forehead center. Namaste. Thank you. I apologize for the amateur camera work, but I'm glad you came to practice with me. Have a great day.